Hey, Knights Media Network. My name's Lindsay Smith, and I'm here to give you a behind the scenes look at Bellarmine Theater and Alpha Psi Omega's latest production, The Wolves.
It is a beast. It is incredibly fast paced. It is 90 minutes, but it is over 100 pages.
Holly Kissel, known for her work in Angel Street and the most two recent Rocky Horror Picture shows, is once again leading from the director's chair for The Wolves.
You have to teach a bunch of theater kids how to play soccer. There were so many things that were challenging about it, but that's what made it so interesting. You have these incredible people and getting them in the room, it's electricity in the air, but finding the time to do that and fully commit to it is a challenge at times, but when it's there, it's there.
This Sarah DeLatte play centers around a high school soccer team as it explores the joys and challenges that come with being a teenager.
It bridges the gap, I think, between athletics, teenagers, and the theater.
I just think it's very funny. I think Sarah DeLappe, I think, is just excellent at understanding how 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds talk.
Oh my gosh, what? She's being modest. He was like, that bicycle kick totally could have been on ESPN.
And something that's brilliant about all these actors is that they know how to execute it in a way that also feels authentic. So it just feels like it's a bunch of girls just talking on stage, like it's everyday life.
Unlike some plays many may be used to, this ensemble based storyline offers a unique feel to production.
In this show especially, there are a lot of different conversations happening over each other, especially in scene one. There can be just one, and all the way up to like 3 or 4 conversations happening at once.
Right. She sits behind me and freak out, and I keep hearing her whisper, "Don't you have the guts to do what you think is right?"
Doing stretches and thinking about your line and trying to listen for like your cue lines that are contained in another conversation is so much to think about.
But it's not just those on stage that have been putting in the work over these last few months of preparation.
We have a great tech team behind it. Our stage manager, our ASM, our director, they're all students because this is the Alpha Psi Omega show for the year, which is completely student run and student led. And they just have really thrown themselves into this work, and they're an amazing team.
Undoubtedly, one of the biggest draws for the story becomes the personalities of its characters and the chemistry amongst the cast.
Number 7 is kind of like a bitch. And it's really interesting because, like, I personally don't think I'm that mean of a person. So it kind of like, it gave me room to play with how, like, far I could go without being too much.
Number 11 interacts a lot with number 13. And when I went in for my audition, a really good friend of mine, Kat Carter, was reading opposite me. So we just had like a lot of really good chemistry together. So we just like got to play around a lot in the audition, and I just had a blast with it.
As have many facets of our university, the theater program has overcome many challenges and changes in the recent months.
Because so much has happened in the theater world here at Bellarmine, our program's major got cut. And I feel like this shows just how resilient our students are. Just because we get put into a bad situation, we make the most out of it, and we can still put on a fantastic show and show the university why we need to keep funding the arts and why we should keep this program here, and show that even with all the curveballs you throw at us, we'll still come out on top.
And even if you're not typically one for theater, you might just be in luck for this performance.
I feel like there's a perception of the arts and theater being quite hoity-toity, and you're going to come see a bunch of people talk about intellectual matters, and you might sleep a little bit. There's no chance of that.
You're never really going to be bored in it because something's always happening, something crazy is always going down, some character's always cracking a joke or saying something a little odd, but it's a really fun show.
The Wolves will be taking the field January 26th through 28th in Wyatt Hall. For more information on times and tickets, please check out the Bellarmine Theater Engage page. From Crawley, I'm Lindsay Smith with Knights Media Network.